Okay, let's get right into it. If you've got a child gearing up for the selective school entrance exam here in New South Wales, the rules for the writing test are changing, and honestly, it's a pretty big deal.
Now, just look at this chart. It tells you everything you need to know about why we're talking about this today. Just 5 years ago, writing was only about a tenth of the total score. Then it bumped up to 15%. But look at that last bar. From 2025, it's jumping to a full 25%. That's a massive leap, putting it on equal footing with every other section. Suddenly, writing isn't just a small piece of the puzzle, it's a cornerstone of the entire exam.
So, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll look at the shakeup itself. Then we'll dive into the new rules. After that, we'll see how the industry is responding with prep platforms and talk about mastering all the different writing formats. We'll also tackle some of the modern challenges like feedback and AI, and we'll wrap up with what this all means for your child's path forward.
Right, so you're probably asking, why the big change? What's going on here? Well, it seems the Department of Education is sending a pretty clear signal. They want to encourage more well-rounded students, kids who are strong across the board, not just in one or two areas. It's also seen as a way to address a long-standing gender imbalance, since historically girls have tended to perform very strongly in writing, and this helps level the playing field. And this next point is a huge logistical change. The whole exam is going digital, which means the writing task has to be typed. This throws a brand new skill into the mix: how comfortable your child is with a keyboard. For kids who are used to writing by hand, this could be a real challenge, It could slow them down right when the clock is ticking. So, the exam is online, and writing is worth a whole lot more. But how is it actually scored? This is the absolute core of what you need to understand, because those 25 marks aren't just one big score. They're broken down in a very specific way. And here it is, the big split. The easiest way to think about it is what you write versus how you write it. Set A, which is worth a whopping 15 marks, is all about your ideas, your creativity, your content. Then you have set B for 10 marks, which is all about the technical side of things: your spelling, your grammar, your sentence structure. So let's dig into set A, because that's where the most marks are. The markers are looking for a few key things here. Is it interesting? Does it actually answer the question? Is it well organized? But this last point, this is the real game changer. They want an original response, something you came up with on the spot. They do not want a pre-memorized story that you've just dropped in. Authenticity is absolutely crucial for scoring well here. So, with all these new rules and complexities, it's probably no surprise that the education industry is adapting fast. We're now seeing the rise of these really specialized online platforms that are built specifically to tackle these new challenges. And this visual really shows their secret sauce. It's a simple but really powerful loop. Kids get to practice with prompts that feel just like the real exam. They type up and submit their work, and then boom, they get instant, super detailed feedback. And over time, they can track their progress with analytics. It just makes the whole preparation process so much clearer. Okay, so these platforms are great for practice and feedback, but what exactly are students practicing? Well, this brings us to another massive shift. It's not just about writing one type of creative story anymore, not by a long shot. Get a load of this number, 20 plus. Let that sink in for a second. Some of these prep platforms are training students for over 20 different writing styles. We're talking everything you can imagine. Versatility is the new name of the game. So what does that actually look like? Well, one day, your child might get a prompt asking for a news report. This needs a totally different mindset, right? It's all about being objective, sticking to the facts, and using a very specific structure. But then, the very next practice test could swing in the complete opposite direction. They could be asked to write a persuasive essay. Now, all that objectivity goes out the window. The goal is to use powerful arguments and rhetoric to convince the reader to agree with you. And then, just to show the incredible range we're talking about, they might get something like a diary entry. This is all about being personal, informal, and reflective. The ability to just switch between these completely different styles under pressure, that's what's going to make the top student stand out. Okay, but all of this online practice and versatility brings up some tricky modern questions, right? How good is the feedback? What's the deal with AI? And how do we know the real exam is actually fair? Let's get into some of those thornier issues. At the end of the day, it all comes down to outcomes like this. A parent, Anjali, said the regular practice and feedback just built incredible confidence in her daughter.
And that's really the human side of all this tech. It's about turning that exam stress into real self-belief. Of course, you can't talk about online writing these days without talking about AI. But here's the thing. The prep platforms are already on it. They're building in their own AI detection tools to make sure the work being submitted is actually the student's own. Because let's be real, there's no chat GPT in the exam room. The goal has to be real learning, not just finding shortcuts. And this focus on fairness and integrity, it's baked right into the official exam itself. To make sure the marking is as consistent as possible, every single writing response is marked by 2 different expert teachers. And if their scores are way off, a senior marker comes in to make the final call. It's a really robust system designed to be as fair as possible. All right, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's bring it all home. Let's focus on the absolute key takeaways for you and your child as you get ready to tackle this new selective landscape. Here are the 4 things you absolutely have to remember. Number 1, writing is now a massive quarter of the total score. Number 2, typing isn't a nice-to-have anymore, it's an essential skill. Number 3, your child needs to be a jack of all trades, ready for any writing style they throw at them. And finally, number 4, there are new online tools out there designed specifically to help with all of this. And that really leaves us with one big final question to think about. In this new world of typed exams, AI everywhere, and endless information, what is the most important skill we should be teaching our kids? Is it being adaptable? Is it critical thinking? Or is it something else entirely? It's a big thought, and it's definitely something worth considering as we prepare them not just for a test, but for everything that comes next.
Helping primary school students master selective school exams, develop critical thinking, and build the confidence to succeed.